Hi, Studio Recapped here. Today, we're going to talk about a movie called Before the Dawn in the drama and romance genres. Spoiler alert is on. Watch out and take care. You won't believe how much your support means. Thank you so much for your support. A captivating and heart-wrenching love story about a student falling in love with his teacher. Stay with us for the journey. The film begins with the main character, a student named Jason. He constantly argues with his parents about his academic performance and the grades he has received. He was a poor student and had many bad influences in his life, which made things worse for him. As the story progresses, we see Jason in a situation where he is exchanging drugs with one of his classmates, revealing that he is involved in illegal activities. In fact, Jason's brother, Michael, was also using the same substances. Now he had gone to prison, and in his place, another boy had become the drug dealer. Later on, a new and attractive teacher named Leela enters the classroom and introduces herself to the students. She was an English teacher. That night after class, a teacher named Andrew introduces himself to Leela, and they get to know each other. Leela, after returning home, talks to her mother on the phone and claims everything seems to be going well. We then go back to Jason's house, where we witness an argument between him and his mother. Jason's mother was very afraid that he, like Michael, would end up going down the wrong path. After class at school, Jason approaches his teacher and asks for help with an assignment he needed to do. Leela had asked the students to write an essay about their personal life. This helped her get to know each student better. Jason asked his teacher, "What about you? We don't know anything about you." Lila asked Jason what exactly he wanted to know about her. Eventually, Jason leaves the class, and Lila follows him until she encounters another teacher named Shannon. Shannon suggests to the new teacher not to waste her time on Jason, as he was already a bad student with no morals. However, Lila believes it is her duty to help people like Jason, and besides, Jason needs her help. Shannon mocks her and wishes her good luck. The next day, Jason starts reading his essay in front of his classmates. After class, Lila pulls her student aside and tells him that he has a talent for writing essays. She encourages him, saying he could really improve in class. That same night, we see Lila holding some papers, and we realize she's in the process of getting a divorce. The next day, Jason rides his bike to school. We see Andrew meeting Lila, and they make plans for the evening. In class, Jason was completely distracted. Lila notices his poor condition and lack of focus. At the end of the class, she talks to her student about it. Jason tells her that he's struggling because of the pressure his family puts on him to not turn out like his brother Mike. Lila suggests he stays a bit longer after class to talk about his problems and that she can help him with his studies too. That night, Lila goes to a bar with Andrew, and they hang out for a bit. It's obvious that Andrew is interested in her and wants to make a move. While Lila and Andrew are having fun, we see Jason sitting at the same bar, watching them from a distance. Andrew wasn't really the kind of guy Lila was into, so after a while she gets tired of him. Andrew calls a cab for her to take her home. The next day, Lila spots Jason from her window as he's heading to school. But when she gets to class, she finds out Jason hasn't shown up. Just as the class is about to end, Jason walks in. He apologizes to Lila and promises it won't happen again. Jason begs Lila not to talk to anyone about this, as it would cause him trouble. Right then, for the first time, he takes her hand in a very friendly, almost affectionate way. Lila, who didn't mind it at all, pulls her hand away. That night, Lila is talking to her mother again. It's pouring rain outside. Suddenly, there's a knock on the door, and we quickly realize that Jason, with a bruised face and looking badly hurt, has come to Lila's house. Leila immediately hangs up the phone and rushes to help Jason. She wants to know what happened, but Jason doesn't say a word. After a moment of silence, he leaves. Leela stops him and offers to drive him home. On the way, Jason gives her a wrong address, leading her to a quiet, beautiful spot. He tries to get closer to her, attempting to kiss her and seduce her, but Leela, feeling this isn't right, gets back in the car. After they get home, Lila tells Jason that there shouldn't be any relationship like this between a teacher and a student, and with confidence, she tells him that nothing like that should ever happen again. Jason leaves the car, clearly upset. From that day on, they try to ignore each other and pretend the other isn't there. One day, while cleaning Jason's room, his mother notices his book and is shocked to find out that her son's grades have been improving incredibly. While Jason was scrolling through Leila's social media pictures on his phone, his mother walks in and asks how he's been improving in his studies. Jason claims that his progress is all because of his new teacher at school. After a while, Lila and Andrew return to the same bar, but Andrew asks her a lot of questions about her past life, which she doesn't want to discuss because it makes her feel uncomfortable and upset. Jason is also at the bar that night and watches them from afar. Lila goes to the bathroom. As she comes out, she bumps into Jason. He kisses her, and a romantic moment happens between them. Lila, shocked, returns to the table, but it doesn't take long before she makes an excuse to leave and exits the bar. We see that Shannon, who's been interested in Andrew, quickly fills the empty spot where Leela was and eagerly wants to spend time with him. Lila goes home, and shortly after, Jason shows up at her place. Despite knowing the consequences of their relationship, they can't control themselves and get closer, having a great time together. The next day, Leela says that whatever happens between them, from now on, they need to keep their relationship normal. Jason agrees and gives her his first gift, a necklace shaped like a moon. He asks her to close her eyes and puts the necklace around her neck. Both of them are very happy. Later, we see Leela talking to her mother on the phone, telling her that she's recently met someone. Her mother is really happy for her. However, Leela can't tell her that the person she's seeing is one of her students. The next day, Jason, who's in Lila's car, hides himself from everyone so no one will see him in his teacher's car. Leela tells him the situation, as she admits that she hasn't even been able to tell the truth to her mother. Jason teases Leela a bit to cheer her up. He takes a selfie with her using his phone. One day, while Jason's mother is cleaning his room, she notices his phone and sees pictures of Lila. She realizes that Jason is in a relationship with his teacher. She goes to confront Leela angrily and tells her to stay away from her son. The school principal, who overheard part of the argument, asks Lila about it, but she avoids giving a direct answer and doesn't tell the truth. That same night, when Jason came home, he had a huge fight with his mom. He claimed that he was in love with Lila and asked his mom to forget about the age difference between them and Lila being his teacher. His mom got angry and told him he didn't have the right to continue this relationship, but his dad was a little calmer and understood Jason's feelings. On the other hand, Leela called her mom and told her the truth. Lila's mom was completely shocked and furious because not only was her daughter about to lose her job, but she could also end up in prison. Jason went to see Leela, but she refused to let him in and they got into a fight. Lila asked Jason to stay away for a while. Jason, understanding the pressure on her, left her house. Then, Lila sat on the couch and reflected on everything. After reading Jason's apology note, she opened the door for him again. Jason brought her flowers, and they embraced each other. Jason suggested they leave the city together, and Leela thought about it. The next day, when she went to school, Jason met her there. We see Andrew witnessing this scene. He felt jealous and did something stupid. At the end of the day, Leela was alone in the classroom when Andrew started bothering her. He attacked her and assaulted her. Leela was emotionally under a lot of pressure. When Jason saw Leela in such a bad state, he was devastated. He realized what Andrew had done, so the next day at school, when he saw Andrew, he couldn't control his anger and attacked him, hitting Andrew. The police arrested Jason, and Lila felt guilty. Jason's mom showed up and yelled at Lila, saying everything she could think of. We see that Jason doesn't attend the following classes, which makes Leela feel even more guilty. She calls Andrew and arranges a meeting with him. Leela tells Andrew that his shameless in the school was recorded by the classroom security cameras. She threatens him, saying that if he doesn't agree to release Jason and quit the school, she will make his life miserable. Andrew, having no choice, reluctantly agrees and resigns from the school. Jason is released and allowed to return to school, but Leela decides to leave the city alone. The separation was very hard for both of them, especially Jason. And that was the end of the story.